Good morning, good morning, good morning. Pardon me, phlegm. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and a very, very stupid o'clock to one and all. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we get going, folks, a few of the usual disclaimers. First off, you are going to see the link to this 1995 investigative report into the death of Linda Cornelison right there in the links box, the description box, excuse me. Right along the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, included Autistic massive archive on the subject, also including templates. Folks, sign your name, click on your senator. We have designed it to be stupid proof, for God's sake, so that we can end aversive therapies, improper restraints, and seclusion in schools. It kills people every year. No, I'm not joking. All right? You want me to bring up evidence? I'd be happy to do so. You know what to do. Hit me in my DMs, hit me in the comments. Also, the ever present and self explanatory change.org shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down petition. Now, folks, when we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and sometimes catch clips or surveillance footage of people with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you have young children present, folks, please use your headphones, all right? And as previously stated, it is stupid o'clock, to be exact, 3:17 a.m., stupid o'clock in the damn morning. So if I stumble over any of my words this morning, my apologies in advance, all right? I have not had my second dose of caffeine. So we are going off to where we left off yesterday. I might be rereading some of it. I'm not sure. I've slept since then, all right? So let's get going here. Okay. On April 26th, 1994, Attorney Flamina, representing BRI, proposed that a request for the documents be directly made to him. He stated that the material in question should be requested in writing. Again, Mr. Cohen requested the records in written form on April the 29th, 1994. No response received from BRI until July the 22nd, 1994, when Attorney Flamina wrote confirming that the documents had been received. The documents had not and still have not been received. Mr. Cohen wrote to Flamina on December the 6th, 1994, indicating that if any material surfaces or is provided in the future, it will be reviewed. Good God. Examples of records requested but not provided are mentioned throughout this report, and they include written statements of staff submitted to PC2 pursuant to an internal inquiry conducted by BRI administration shortly after Vi's death. Not only was this information requested under DMR regulations, but also under DPPC statute. Pursuant to DPPC statute, W4's report of Vi's death was also requested pursuant to MGL C95. BRI refused to submit this report, citing attorney-client privilege. Ketone test results routinely administered in 1990 were never provided. Nursing notes were requested for the period of December 1989 to December 1990. 6 months of nursing notes were missing during this period. PC1RN stated she wrote an incident report, aka therapy note, on or about December the 19th, 1990, regarding the events of December the 18th, 1990. This record was never provided. Also mentioned in the report is the incomplete or inadequate records or records which were not preserved, including the following examples. PC1 stated that she evaluated Vi on December the 18th, 1990. PC1 gave a description of the physical examination she performed, checking the stomach, etc. PC1 stated Vi was not having her menses, nor was she constipated. GPC1 further commented she contacted the physician regarding by. The daily nursing body check sheet merely states, Link arrived at school pale and lethargic. Has been awake all night, sticking fingers in throat. Temperature 98.4. Unable to see beyond was in the ears. Allowed to rest, giving frequent fluid. Neither this record nor are there other records which provide information regarding checking by stomach, contacting W2 and his or her orders, by taking a bath and the school. The last time Vi was checked for the day before she left the building. The nursing body check sheets are not consistent with the direct care staff's body check sheets. Direct care staff documented bruises to the arms of Vi, which were confirmed in the autopsy photos. Nursing did not. Vi's service program treatment plan was incomplete in the description. It failed to identify which behavior was being consequented. For in the same reason, it is impossible to determine which behaviors Vi was being consequented for on December the 18th, 1990. The behaviors are grouped into categories. For example, the aggressive category includes 8 behaviors: bite, hit, kick, grab, etc. The daily recording streaks still identify that a consequence was administered and that the type of consequence. However, one cannot determine which behavior is being consequented. See also Duarte P8. Of course, they're going to be vague as fuck. Who does this surprise? They're trying to hide shit as much as possible. BRI fails to retain daily recording sheets. They convert the daily forms into weekly, monthly sheets. Only the daily forms have the time, hour, and adversive was administered. As in Vi's case, the time was an essential factor. Over 50 adversives were administered in a recently short period of time before she was transported to the hospital. Between 4 to 5 p.m., she received 16 adversives, that is one every 3.75 minutes. Between 5 to 6 p.m., she received 24 adversives, that is one every 2.5 minutes. Jesus Christ. So her last hours of life were just filled with nothing but horror. Furthermore, some adversives, such as ammonia, have a procedural limit, 3 per hour. There is no way to monitor the administration of ammonia on a weekly, monthly sheet. If the record indicates 4, for example, one cannot determine if that was over a 24-hour period or in 1 hour. Incident reports, also known as therapy notes, are condensed when they are typed, omitting valuable information and then destroyed. W3 wrote a 3-page handwritten incident report relative to December the 18th, 1990. Information provided by W3, such as the time she arrived at the Frenier Street residence and Vi's pulse rate upon arrival to the ER, were deleted when it was typed. This policy continues today. It raises an obvious concern that the best, freshest documentary account of the incident is not available, and the possibility of an inaccurate presentation of the facts exists. This practice is in violation of DMR Regulation 115 CMR 916, which requires the person who witnessed and or observed the incident to write the report, which is filled with the service coordinator, head of provider, and family or guardian. How many times do I have to tell you, police? They don't answer the DMR. They don't have to because the courts goddamn protect them. Okay? Yes, they violate DMR procedures. Every goddamn day they are in existence. They violate standard of care every single day. They violate the human rights of their students every single day. And they get away with it because according to the Massachusetts courts, they are above the law. They do not have to hold themselves up to the same regulations as every other operating center in the state. Okay? And until they are required to meet those requirements, things like this are going to keep happening. You have got to give the courts a kick in the ass. Just saying. Lack of accurate record keeping and preservation of records was especially consequential in this investigation, where several of the key witnesses could not be located or would not testify. Brahma! Stop! Stop! Sorry, folks. Brahma was just, yeah. I'm going to reread that. Lack of accurate record keeping and the preservation of records was especially consequential in this investigation, where several key witnesses could not be located or would not testify. Who's surprised that they're threatening witnesses? Not me. Isn't that tampering with witnesses? Oh, but I forgot. They're above the law. No, you want attention. She goes meow. Sorry. The failure to provide or preserve records or record information adequately or completely had several other harmful consequences, including this investigator is unable to determine if Vi was ill during the 2 months preceding her death. It is unknown if routine lab checks were conducted in December 1990, 6-month check, or what the results were if they were conducted. It is unknown if the Cantone tests were monitored. Other findings regarding non-cooperation or obstruction with the investigation. I wonder who ordered them to do that. Matthew Israel. Mayburn. During an interview with PC2, he was asked if he operated the facility in California. His attorney, Flamina, objected to the line of questioning. Mr. Flamina was advised by Mr. Cohen, Director of Investigation, that this investigator also intended to question who the licensing agency in California was and if that licensing agency had ever received any complaints. Mr. Flamina reiterated that his objection. Mr. Cohen then advised Mr. Flamina that the refusal to answer the questions can constitute a non-cooperation with this investigation. Mr. Flamina did not allow the questions to be answered. Prior to interviewing PC2, this investigator had the occasion to interview Vi's mother of the victim. Vi's mother was accompanied by her attorney, Ann McGuire. Attorney McGuire asked the investigator if she had observed the video of Vi December the 17th or 18th, 1990. This investigator's response was of surprise, as I had been informed by W25 the tapes had been recycled. BRI employs video surveillance on students, both at the residences and the educational vocational facility. Attorney McGuire then stated it was her understanding that a videotape of Vi did not exist. However, she had not yet viewed it because the BRI needed to review the tape for confidentiality purposes and possibly edit it. Attorney McGuire stated she did not know if Vi was on the tape for 15 minutes or 15 seconds. Attorney McGuire further commented this information was provided to her by Attorney Rittenberg. During an interview with PC2, he asked if a videotape of Vi existed. PC2 stated he did not know. This investigator then presented the question to both attorneys present, Flamina and Rittenberg. Miss Rittenberg became angry, stating that she was not going to answer that question. To date, this investigator is unaware if such a videotape of Vi exists. Interesting and reminiscent of the Andre McCollins situation, is it not? Is it not? The stonewalling and fighting through the courts that bend over backwards to protect them, that keep anyone from seeing what's going on. But here's what's interesting. This isn't just a fight about the police seeing the video of Vi. This is a fight over the very existence of such a tape. What is it about the concept of the existence of such a tape when it comes to Vi that has them sputtering and projecting like crazy. That's very interesting, right? Why in the world would they hide not just the videotape, but to hide that it has even existed in the first place or what has happened to it? That would be very interesting to find out. And why is it that they are allowed to hide things, including from a police investigation, and yet they face no sanctions and no repercussions for it? Very interesting. And on that note, folks, we're going to close out for this morning. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button. Hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. Feed that algorithm. I do appreciate your time this morning. And as always, we here at Spelling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.